After a long week, I am beat. History paper, stock report, math tests, woodshop project. Just tired. But I feel like forgetting something. It's like I can almost feel my GPA dropping. Whatever. Can't be that important. If it was, I probably would remember it. Whatever. Good night. What is this weird paper on my desk? A video project on the 1920s requirements. Crap. I forgot we had a video project due Monday. Oh man. Oh, what am I gonna do for this project? This is gonna kill me. What would my good friend Vladimir Lenin do? He'd probably take over Russia, overthrow the Tsar, and destroy the new government there. I don't have time for that. It takes way too long. Ugh. What am I gonna do? Whatever. I give up. I'll take my first F on this project. I'm going to sleep. Wait a minute. My favorite Soviet song just came on. I'm pretty sure this is in my notes somewhere. Hang on. Soviets equal Bolsheviks equal communists, which equals the Red Scare of the 1920s.
The Red Scare of the 1920s.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is your lucky day because all of the requirements for this Red Scare video will be done in song. So why was the Red Scare important to the 1920s? Well, for one, it made Americans realize that democracy was not widespread and it was not everywhere. It also made Americans realize that there could possibly be a radical overthrow of their own government, which a lot of people feared. And the Red Scare also made people realize that socialism really threatened democracy everywhere. Because the way the Bolsheviks were promoting it, they were promoting revolutions everywhere. They wanted people to switch to socialism, which America was not fine with. And this increased tensions between the United States of America and Russia.
The Red Scare in the 1920s was important to the 1920s because it was the first time ever that democracy was threatened in the United States and abroad. It also made people realize that there was a Soviet spies in higher levels of government. This made people fear that a revolution was going to happen on the home front.
This is a political cartoon that aired in the Philadelphia Inquirer, and it says "Put them out and keep them out." And it was pretty much, there's a little guy in the corner of the American flag, and he's like hidden, which represents the underground anarchy and communism movement, and he is torching the American flag with the words anarchy, because communism and anarchy both threatened democracy in the United States.
The Red Scare of the 1920s influenced people by striking fear into them, pretty much. The Department of Justice encouraged people to report any anti-American activities, anything that was related to socialism, communism, and anarchism. It was all encouraged to be reported, and the people caught were then deported with little to no evidence. And it was pretty much like the Salem witch trials that happened hundreds of years ago. People were just accused of something and then killed. Only in the Red Scare, people that were accused were deported to their native lands, which it pretty much infringed on people's freedom of speech because they were just protesting, saying what they believed in, and then they were deported.
Alright, so in this picture we see accused radicalists who were communists or anarchists, and they are awaiting trial on Ellis Island, and their punishment, if found guilty, was deportation. And most of these men were picked up during the Palmer raids of 1920. Alright, so in this picture we see a giant celebration going on, which is celebrating the friendship between the communist North Korea and communist China, who have been longtime allies, and that is communism today.
How has the Red Scare affected us 90 years later? Well, shortly after the Red Scare of the 1920s, there was a second Red Scare in the 1950s, which was better known as the Cold War, and at the same time, the Korean War. But then, later on, into our era, the Soviet Union collapsed in the 90s, but there still are socialist countries like China, which recently has been switching to more of a democracy type of economy, but there still is one hardcore communist country out there which has been in the media spotlight lately, and that is North Korea. People there still live under oppression of Kim Jong-un and other leaders there. So will the entire world ever be a free place? Probably not, because eventually other countries will rise to power and maybe even form socialist governments.
So in this picture, this is a political cartoon that displays how the whole country is fed up with labor unions and the coal strikes, which is a major reason why communism and socialism was gaining ground in the United States of America during the 20s. Alright, so in this picture we see it's the Palmer raids, which was the Department of Justice's attempt to rid the country of all radicalists. And there were raids in over 31 cities with 6,000 arrests made, and most of those people were deported on little to no evidence against them.